Everybody, welcome back to the channel. I just arrived to camp. Camping post September, ideal. Camping on a Monday, extra ideal. Yeah, I'm out here on a Monday. This place is usually packed. I have this entire area to myself. There's a little river down here we'll check out in a second. This trip is actually mostly to talk about the rooftop tent that I have up here. I'll be taking it down for the winter, likely. Just because probably not gonna be able to go too much, having a family and stuff like that makes it a little bit tricky. And I have a setup that I use for the back of the truck, so I don't want to carry this thing around all winter long. It's mostly for the summer, so this is definitely more of a family style tent. Before I set it up, I wanted to quickly show it in its, I guess, enclosed form. So just to bring y'all up to speed, this is my 2021 Ford Ranger trimmer, outfitted for mostly doing some light off-roading, actually pretty decent off-roading, and also set up on, actually we'll do a whole review of the whole truck later, because I have done some stuff to the truck, but let's focus on a tent for this one. So what I have on the Ranger is a FSR, which is Freespirit Recreation, High Country V2 King. This is their largest tent in their lineup, and this is their, again, V2, so version 2, and I think they did a much better job with this one. It's much more streamlined, much lighter. It's a lot easier to set up and tear down, and just an overall better experience from what I've seen on the previous videos of like reviews from their version 1. Another thing about this one that I love, and this is kind of a big deal for me and my family, was this one. I have crossbars that I can put on here. So I opted to add the crossbars. Super easy to install, just in this L channel. This allows me to add a roof basket if I want, or if I want to add a kayak or anything on top of the truck, I can still utilize the space. I did not want to get a giant rooftop tent like an iCamper and just lose all that space. So this is big for me. So very cool. Shout out to FSR for having this crossbar option. Also, what's really cool is you can actually stand up on top of this. So if I needed to get on top of it for any reason or just hang out up here. And for this version also, there's a cover that they sell with it, but the one I got, since you have the crossbars, they don't have the cover for that yet. But they do have this cool, basically a fabric that goes around the tent to keep it all protected. You know, all the tent material that's actually, you can see whenever it's folded. This kind of covers all of that, and you can get this replaced. So this fabric just kind of goes into a channel here all the way around. And then once you have it all set up, you clip it in and it just lives there. So for me, that's awesome, because that like saves a bunch of weight, a lot less hassle, and just really easy to set up. So instead of having a cover that looks all bulky over the tent, much cleaner design in my opinion. So very cool. I also like, this is kind of my own preference, but I like the minimal branding that they have on it. It's really minimalistic. That's kind of my style. So I appreciate that it's not just a ton of branding thrown at it. Yeah, not super flashy. And last but not least, for the outside, it's just installed with these normal, you see these all the time, these tent brackets. They really just sandwich the crossbars. So it works for pretty much every crossbar. Kind of a pain to install, but once you have it on there, it's on there. I'd like to see if they would come out with a kind of like a quick clamp solution. That would be really nice. But once you put it on there, it's on there for the season. Take it off for the season. It's not the worst thing in the world. Yeah, so basically there's just Velcro straps all the way around that hold the tent down. So when it folds over on itself, you just put these Velcro straps, and that keeps everything held in tight. And that's really the only thing holding it together are these Velcro straps. So you can see they got the corners. Super easy. That's it. So you just go around and you pop these right out. You just take these straps out all the way around. I'll go ahead and do that, and then I'll show you all that in a time lapse for the rest of them. The other thing that you'll need to do is, you could actually open it without the ladder, but it's a lot easier with the ladder. So you just take these push pins out. Those locking pins are, to me, this is such an easy solution. I did a review of another tent a while back, and I did not like the way that theirs was set up. This one to me is much cleaner design. And the hardware that they use is just really, really beefy hardware. So once you set it up, it's just ready to go. So let me pop out the ladder and we'll open it up. All right, so you can see pretty straightforward ladder, nothing special. It just has these ends here that allow the pins to go through. So I'll go do that now. This is the side that gives all the directions. So I'm gonna assume this is the side that should be facing you. So whenever you put it onto it, just keep that in mind. I would want to put it on just like this. So let's go up there and install it. All right, so top of the truck, pretty simple. The locking pin, one side. There you go. Then you kind of just open it up and pull it out a little bit so you can grab it on the other side. That should be good enough. And it's locked in, so it's not going anywhere. What's really cool for me, honestly, another big reason why I went with these guys is they're located like 15 minutes down the street from my house. So their main warehouse is right there if I need anything. So you want to flip this kind of inside out so it doesn't get squashed. So like that. Not the end of the world if you don't do that. You can do it whenever you flip it over, but it just makes it a lot easier. There you go. And there's all the guts. And we'll go around this side too. That should be plenty. Now I would extend the ladder as far as you can. It gives you more leverage. Got that? There you go. And then just pull it this way. Really not that hard. And that's it. So I just kind of hone it in. Really it right there. There's a little hole right here, so I'm gonna have to get a rock under it or something, but that's that part. I've got these are like these are like reinforcement poles. They just go on each corner. Since this is such a big tent, it's kind of nice to have reinforcement on the sides. So I'm glad they come with these. It's just a little, this is something I think it can be improved. Kind of cumbersome, but you just basically go through this and go through each one until you get to your desired or necessary height. So I'll keep doing that for a second. One. So again, not the worst thing. It's not that bad at all actually, but I think like I don't know if it'd be strong, but like the twist kind that you see on a tripod would work pretty well. Something similar to that. Just an area they can improve on. These just these just have a little male to female situation going on here. So it just literally goes inside there. nothing special. So it can be a little loose because the melon is about this long, so it has room to play. So I may put like a shim under it, but the ground's just really uneven right here. So it's something you just need to pay attention to and work out. But yeah, and one more thing left to do. We do that right now. So I'm climbing up here. This might be hard to see because it's getting dark. I'll try to get the light on in there so it can help, but basically there's a bar that runs across right here inside the tent. You can kind of see it right there. I'm going to pull that out, and then you have another bar that you push against this top bar here. So basically you expand it to create tension, and that's the tent set up. So none of those annoying, I've had multiple rooftop tents. One thing that was super annoying were those little tension poles that you had to stick up everywhere on every single window to hold the rain fly up or to keep it from flapping. This one does not have any of those poles, and I really appreciate that. I think it's a cool design to get rid of those. So you can see here, it comes up. Also, if you can see that, that is a bungee cord from each corner that pulls in the fabric whenever you close a tent. So that's always set up whenever you are opening and closing the tent. Let me try to get some light on in here. All right, so there's a telescoping pole. You can see there's like a little mechanism here. This pole just kind of lives in this little nook right here. And yeah, that's all there is to it. So I'm gonna release this mechanism, just like that, and now I can telescope the pole. I will do it across the other side and create tension real quick. All right, there it is. Okay, that sounded a lot harder than what it actually is. It's really easy. It's just hard whenever you're trying to record it too. But all right, so it's clipped on. It has a little clip at the end of it that clips onto the other pole. So now it's attached. Usually it takes me like 5 seconds, but then I just create tension with it. So I'm going to do that now, as much tension as I can create, and then lock it. And we are set up. There is a port you can see right here. This allows me to pull in my heater. So it's supposed to get like, we're up in the mountains, way up in the mountains. So this should be really helpful to keep my tent warm tonight. We're about 11,000 feet in October, so it's supposed to get like down to the 30s, high 20s tonight. Which is crazy because I'm in shorts right now. You would not think that. Also, another thing we did, and another thing I like about Freespirit Recreation is they offer a lot of add-ons for your tent to make it more comfortable. So we got this pillow topper situation. It's a king size pillow topper. It stays strapped to the sides. You can see there, elastic on each corner, and it makes a world of difference. So we've been using that. I would usually not use something this big for just myself, obviously, but I wanted to show you guys this tent in detail. So yeah, this is where I'll be getting cozy, probably sleeping very well tonight. No dogs allowed. Speaking of, there's one right there. He's soaking wet. Another reason why they're not allowed the tent. All right, let's go ahead and get the heater set up before it gets super cold. Here's a quick look-see at the tent. The light on in there. Mountains in the backdrop. Sun setting. Dude, this thing rules. So yeah, I actually think it looks really good. You know, actually in its open configuration as well. Like I like the muted logo they got going on here. The branding is just, again, like I said, pretty minimalistic. The all black stealth look, I really like it. Yeah, just an all around really good looking tent. Let me see if I can get around this truck. Let's see. Whoa, a bear over here. Yeah, that's really cool. All right, let's get that heater set up. So in order to run a heater, you need a power supply. I'm using an Anker Solix, I think it's called C800. Nothing crazy. I think I got it for like $400. Long story, but basically I got a pretty sweet deal on it through Amazon. And then I got a discount on it because it wasn't working with this heater. The heater's nothing special either. This is a Chinese manufactured brand called Vevor or Vevor or whatever you want to call it. So that's the exhaust. This heater, you got to set it up yourself. So it comes like basically all the parts. You got to wire it. You got to add all the exhaust and the intake, all that kind of stuff. But it's pretty straightforward. There's some videos on YouTube on how to do it. All right, so that seems good. I need to find a screwdriver. So I'm just going to loosen this hose clamp. Then make sure, this one gets me every time. Make sure you put it over the hose before you try to install the hose. Yeah, I wish they made like a, I'm going to see on Amazon or something if they make like a quick connect situation for this, because this is fine right now, but if you imagine it's super cold, you got to do this every time, that would be a pain. I'm all about efficiency, y'all. To a fault, actually. So yeah, like I was mentioning, this wasn't working for me at first. It required more power than this thing had. So I had to get this like converter situation and rewire it. And this solved the issue. So it gets converted low enough amperage that it can start it up. This thing rules. It's got other parts I can keep in here. Also got a cool little light that I can use. I need it. It's super bright. And yeah. So turn it on. Should work just fine.
Start heating.
Awesome. All right. Turn it off.
Stop heating.
Put that away.
Thanks for using. I wish you a safe journey.
That's it. So now, I'm just gonna stuff this into my tent. All right, so you just kind of move the zipper a little bit. You'll gain access to the little, I guess, port, or whatever you want to call this. It has a drawstring, so I just loosen the drawstring as much as I can. That's it. Drawstring that thing. Put the tent back up. Velcro to keep stuff out, and that's it. Super easy. Another cool thing is you can dim it, you can brighten it, and dim it if you need to. So I love that. All right, let's take these guys for a quick walk. You can see the mountains getting that alpenglow right now. It's gorgeous out. We are out near an area I love to camp. I'm not going to give it away. Yeah, this spot is great. It's like a giant group site. It is first come, first serve, and it is designated, so that's kind of annoying, but not the first come, first serve part, the designated part. But it's for the best, I know. Would never, can't say never, but I would not recommend walking around in the woods by yourself. But with two giant dogs, tell you what, you feel a lot safer. This one's the size of a bear, and this one thinks he's a bear, so we're good. More worried about a moose, if anything. And there are moose out here. Don't get wet, Copper. Copper, Copper, come here. Come here. You don't need to get wet. You're going to be freezing. This guy will... Laz likes it really cold. As soon as that sun dipped behind that mountain, it got way colder. Hands are cold now. My legs are cold. I gotta change and get warmed up, get everything ready, and I'm gonna make a fire. Or actually, I'm gonna use propane because there's a fire ban. Oh, that's gonna be a cool picture. The mountain behind it. Oh yeah. Wow. It's gonna be so cold in the morning. Oh my gosh. We got the truck up on some rocks. It's all leveled up. All right. So yeah, there's the quick walk around of the tent. I don't know if there's much more to say about it. Maybe I'll do some more in the morning, but just to kind of summarize before I start my dinner and stuff. 2 boot bags that are attached to it. That's kind of a requirement. So you can leave your shoes out of the tent. I got the heater set up there. Oh, we are dialed. So yeah, let's set up a fire, get warm, and start making dinner and feed these dogs. Get some music going because it's scary quiet. Oh, I got some new lights I want to try out. I got all kinds of stuff I got to try out. So yeah, this will be awesome. There we go.
And the sky is heavy
And we're squared away now. Oh man, this is gonna be spicy. So this is a kind of an uncommon camping situation. I don't usually come during the work week to come camping, but I got my meetings and stuff scheduled in such a way that I was able to get out of work around 4 today, head out here, about an 1.5-hour drive, have enough light to do all this. Helps a lot having a rooftop tent that sets up really fast, and being solo with just the dogs. And the morning, I have service here too. I knew I had service at the spot, so that's another big deal because I have a call in the morning. And yeah, and then I'm close to town, so I'm gonna go into Silverthorne tomorrow and just work from a coffee shop or something for most of the day and then head home. So try to take advantage of being a remote worker. I mean, I don't usually do this, but I kind of like having my office set up. But I was like, you know what? Before it gets cold, I want to do a review of the tent and also just enjoy being out here by myself. It doesn't happen nearly as frequently as it used to. Obviously, I'm a new dad now. And the trade-off is way worth it, don't get me wrong, but still fun to get out here. So let's see how this pizza's doing. Heck yeah. I just love pizza when I'm camping. It is so comfortable and toasty in here. You would not think it's in the 30s right now. I got my makeshift iPad holder. It works though. Check it out, y'all. Pro tip for camping in a rooftop tent: get yourself a bottle that you don't care about. Make sure it's a wide mouth situation, and if you have to pee in the middle of the night, you have to get out of the tent. That's like the main thing about rooftop tents that sucks, is having to go out in the middle of the night. I just pee in this thing. That might be a little bit TMI. We'll see if I'm going to leave that in the video, but it's 100% true. I mean, having something like this, you just pee in that, don't have to get out, you can stay warm. It's also kind of scary in the middle of the night when you're getting out of your tent in the middle of the wilderness, so 100% recommend that. I am so warm. This heater has been a game changer. I'm in a t-shirt. The window's open. It's 32 degrees outside. There's a lot of fuel left on this bad boy. Oh my gosh. Could have ran this thing all night. This was camp last night. It was very warm and cozy in here. This kind of changes the game for me. I feel like I can camp any time of the year now. 30 minutes to pack up everything, I guess. And yeah, we'll get out of here. All right, it's 7:45. We are just leaving camp. Pack up did not take very long at all. My hands were a little cold, but that's about it. I would say that tent packed up really fast and really nice. 3 tips I can give. There's a few things you need to remember whenever you're closing the tent. Oh, geez. And that is, one, you got to remember to put the bungees back on. So I almost forgot to do that. Did that. Vent the windows, so open the windows so you can let some air out whenever you do close it. You want to do that as well. The bar that you use on this particular tent to create tension, I guess you're calling it the tension bar. I almost forgot to put that back, so you need to make sure that you do take down the tension bar, put it back in its place. And then again, before folding the tent, one thing to remember is the two pillars, I guess you would call them, or poles that hold the tent up on each side. You can put those, I could put those in the back of my truck, but it's not the biggest deal if you forget to put them back in the tent. But there is a spot dedicated for them and a bag dedicated for them in the tent, right in the front. So if you're trying to keep them in the tent and keep them out of the way, make sure that you put them back in the tent before you close the tent. Because I've also done that where I've closed the tent and forgot to do that. So just a few things to remember. And one tip for closing and trying to actually get the tent fully closed, the fabric will have some blowout on the sides. Not a big deal. It's I think every single tent does this. Every single rooftop tent does this. However, this one's pretty easy to fix. So if you have another person with you, it's a lot easier. But by yourself, it's still not too bad. I just had to get it on top of the truck. If you have a roof rack or if you have something you can stand on. And I was able to get up there, just kind of lift the tent a little bit and stuff the fabric in, push it back down. And then I was able to stand on the tailgate and do the same thing. And then once I did that, that was like the hardest part of closing the tent. It was good to go. It was easy to strap down. So, and again, I got like extra fabric and stuff, or I got extra bedding and stuff in there, and it was still easy to close. So really, really enjoyed the tent last night. I can't say enough good things about it, honestly. We'll see if I'm going to put it up this winter. I might keep it out for a while. It's been awesome, but I'll also show you guys a video I have. I didn't buy this rooftop tent without knowing how I was going to store it, because that's a big, big part of owning a rooftop tent is knowing where to put this thing. And I don't want to be on my truck year round. So I actually have watched a ton of videos on YouTube on, you know, how a lot of people do it differently, based on their setup, their garage, what they have at their house, whatever. And I think I have an idea just by putting a bunch of their ideas together. So I bought some stuff already at the house, ready to lift this thing off of the truck, and I have a place to store it, I have a plan for it. So just something to consider. If you're gonna buy a rooftop tent, especially a big one like this, it takes up a lot of space. You wanna have a plan for where you're gonna store this thing and how you're gonna get it off your truck and on your truck. Because having to rely on someone to always come over and help you with it is kind of a pain in the butt. Cool. All right, well, I am getting out of here and heading back to, I guess, Silverthorne for breakfast or something. We'll see. Yeah, it was a great night. Thanks everybody for watching and sticking around. The channel's doing surprisingly well. This channel's actually been cruising lately, so I'm motivated more than ever to put some videos out. And so I'll be putting out a lot more videos, stuff that's going to be hopefully interesting for you guys. Things like reviews. I want to do actually another one. Oh geez, I want to do another one of the truck, because the truck, I've done a lot more stuff to the truck, and it is just, to me, like what I think everybody says this as they fix up their vehicle, but right now it's kind of where I want it. So we'll do that too. Anyway, enough of me yapping. Thanks for all the support. Like, subscribe. Take care. Bye.